Many working families are worried how COVID-19 is going to impact their children's education, school experience, and childcare during the day. Governor Henry McMaster unveiled a new education program to help some South Carolina families meet those needs. Fox Carolina's Margaret Burnquist reports.
Governor McMaster laid out the details of his Safe Access to Flexible Education, or SAFE Grants program. It provides some families with tuition money to attend independent schools. Now, during a news conference at Hampton Park Christian School in Greenville, standing alongside the Lieutenant Governor, members of the General Assembly, and educators, Governor McMaster explained the program. Scholarship accounts are being created for K-5 to 12th grade students whose family incomes fall below certain criteria. The $32 million for the program comes from the governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund, or GEER funding, which was allocated under the CARES Act. With grants of $6,500 per student, the SAFE Grants program is expected to serve about 5,000 students. The money can be used for tuition and fees at participating independent schools.
A lot of families that would like to have the choice to send their children to one of these other schools, a private or independent school, who just cannot make the ends meet. And there's some that are in these schools now that are working, they're struggling to make those ends meet. And because of the virus, they're going to have even greater difficulty, if not impossible. So that's what this addresses.
The first 2,500 grants will be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis, and the remaining funds will be allocated by a lottery. Families wanting to be notified when the application portal opens should visit the website mysceducation.org for updates. Schools can apply to participate in the program on that same site. Margaret Burnquist, Fox Carolina News.
The Palmetto State Teachers Association reacted to the governor's announcement, saying in part, quote, "Today's action by the governor will allow federal public dollars to flow to independent schools that are not subject to public accountability standards. These schools are also not accessible to all South Carolina students, as they can deny admission to students based on criteria such as students' religion, sexual orientation, or disability status. These funds could be better used by ensuring our public schools have as many resources as possible to ensure a safe return to in-person instruction when public health conditions make it possible to do so."
SC for Ed also reacting, saying in part, quote, "During an unprecedented pandemic, McMaster chose today to spend the majority of his discretionary CARES Act funds on private schools, an action that hurts public schools while doing little to help prospective lower-income private school students. To truly help schools and students, the governor must take actions to reduce the spread of the virus rather than making unfunded demands on public schools while overtly pushing a school choice agenda that leaves our poorest and most vulnerable students and families with no choice."
The South Carolina School Board Association said the cost of this program will benefit a few at the expense of many, with no accountability to taxpayers that public schools are mandated to provide, including the administration of pre- and post-assessments, reports on expenditures, and documentation of the impact of programs or services provided. And we do have all of those full statements inside of our Fox Carolina News app.